Now, this is a video I almost didn't do. Dark circles are a terribly common problem, but they're very hard to influence, at the very least with skincare. However, I thought it might be useful to talk through why we get them and what I generally suggest to my patients when they complain of dark circles. Now, the reason they're so bothersome, I think, is because they make us look tired, unhappy. They give out emotional signals because the eyes obviously fall within the golden triangle of the face, and they tell the world how we feel about things. But when you think about what causes them, it's actually a myriad of things. You've got eyelid skin, which is the thinnest skin anywhere in the body, and you have it sitting over a hollow structure around the eyes where you've got blood vessels, fat pads, bone, muscles. It's really quite complicated. And in terms of things that we can influence, most of those structures are beyond the scope of skincare. So I thought I'd tell you what I tell my patients when they complain about dark circles in practice. So I think it's key to look out for ingredients that help us maintain our collagen levels. The skin is thin, we want to keep it as thick as is humanly possible. And there are only a few things that can really make a difference. Now, the first thing I recommend is vitamin C in topical form. One of my favorites is this one from Obagi. Now, you'll note here that none of the products I'm recommending are actually eye products. I believe that many products are suitable for use around the eyes that don't come in an eye product format because usually they don't contain much in the way of active ingredients. So judicious selection means you'll get more out of the products that you use around the skin and ultimately better results. So this is a general purpose vitamin C serum. It's always best to start cautiously, and something like 5 to 10% would be a good place to start. What vitamin C does is it helps assemble collagen, it helps brighten, and it works as an antioxidant, so it prevents further damage to this delicate tissue. So that's my first top tip for including in your eye skincare regime. Now, the next ingredient I like is niacinamide, which is vitamin B3. This works in a number of ways to benefit the area. So it brightens. It also stimulates ceramide production, so it supports barrier function, which is a really useful thing in an area that's prone to dryness and irritation inherently. And it also helps build collagen too. So I like the Olay Regenerist range for this. Now, the next thing, if you can tolerate it, and I do believe in adding in one active ingredient at a time where they actually do something, is a retinoid. Now, there are plenty of retinoid preparations designed specifically for the delicate area, and that's probably the way to start off in the first instance. Retinoids do so many things. They brighten, they preserve collagen, they improve skin elasticity. So they're a real go-to ingredient to look for in terms of your nighttime routine, which is when you should use a retinoid. Then it comes down to preserving and protecting. So good hydration is key. And if you'll note, none of these are particularly hydrators. So I believe in actually hydrating the eye area as a separate step. So put your leave-on product on and then apply hydration as dictated in order to get a good smooth surface for the next steps, which is usually makeup. So I like this product from Obagi. I mention it time and again, but it's because it really works for me and so many of the people that I recommend it to. And it's simply called Hydrate because that's what it does. And then finally, sunscreen. So the skin is thin, you want to preserve the collagen levels as much as possible, and the best way to do that is with sunscreen. It amazes me how many women forget to apply sunscreen right up to the lash line. It's cuckoo. So the best way to protect the area is to use physical sunscreen agents because they tend to be much less irritating, which is quite a common problem when it comes to using sunscreen around the eyes. So this one from Neostrata, a lovely texture, light, fluid, and contains both titanium dioxide and zinc oxide for really excellent UVA and UVB protection. And of course, as a final step, wear sunglasses to protect the area at all times. Now, it would be remiss of me not to mention cosmetics. This is an area which very much relies on the quick fix hit of cosmetics, and I thought I'd mention my two favourite concealers for concealing dark circles around the eyes. Now, a well-known makeup artist taught me that actually what you want from an under-eye concealer is for it to have peachy tones and quite dense pigment in order to really conceal blue effectively. So the one that I find myself using the most is this one from Laura Mercier, the Secret Concealer. Obviously she's very well known for her Secret Camouflage palette, but perhaps not so well known for this product, but I think it's really fantastic. So it's creamy, doesn't tend to settle into lines. It really does hide rather beautifully any bluish dusky hues in that little kind of oval shape just by the corner of the eye. And the other thing that the makeup artist taught me was to actually really put it into the hollow above the actual dark circle, which again often has a sort of a bluish hue, particularly when tired, and that can really brighten and lift the eye area. As a final little touch, you can put a little bit in the corner. I find if you put too much down here, the concealment benefits are sometimes outweighed by its tendency to settle into fine lines, which can just look a bit... Ooh. So I think focus on the inner hollow and the outer corner to really improve that sort of area that we all know can get a little sort of tired looking. The other one I really like is the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. It does exactly what it says. It's radiant and it's creamy, but it doesn't give you that sort of raccoon look when photographed that some of the more light reflective products do. It comes in a fantastic range of shades and it lasts for a long time, so you get good coverage throughout the course of the day. If you do want to use it elsewhere in the face to conceal a blemish, it's non-comedogenic as well. So this is a really good versatile product. So those are my key steps to making the most of the eye area and for preventing and minimizing dark circles as much as we possibly can with topical things. Now, there will be those out there who suffer from dark circles for other reasons, for deeper reasons, whether it's to do with a fat pad changing place or muscles changing or even bony changes, and those will need a more in-depth assessment. And my guidance is always to seek out an advice from an oculoplastic surgeon, because they will give you the most rounded solution to the problem and really get down to the nitty-gritty of it. So there you have it, my approach to dark circles, a very practical one, a very honest one, and I hope you'll find it useful.